Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into quite a story, the smuggler surfers era. Think
Ah.
1960s, 70s.
Yeah, a really unique slice of history.
Our info comes from pasted text via Nugg notes. And our mission, well, it's to explore how Thai sticks, this specific cannabis, and these surfer guys moving it really shaped early cannabis culture here in the U.S.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how surfing culture and, well, international drug smuggling sort of collided, and how demand for one product drove all this incredible risky innovation in supply chains.
Okay, let's get right into it. Thai sticks. This wasn't just any cannabis, was it?
No, definitely not average.
The source says by the early 70s, it was huge, like maybe 80% of the imported stuff. People called it the premium exotic weed.
That's right, and the big appeal. Potency, simple as that, really.
Higher THC.
Way higher. Thai sticks were typically clocking in around, say, 12 to 15% THC. Compare that to the Mexican brickweed, which was maybe 5 to 10%.
Big difference.
Huge difference back then. If you wanted a stronger experience, Thai stick was the obvious choice.
And actually getting it here sounds like a real operation. Northeast Thailand, all the way to the U.S., sometimes through Bali, Hawaii, Mexico.
Yeah, the routes were complex. And the methods, boats, sure, but also hidden inside surfboards, hollowed out airplane panels, really creative stuff.
Wow. And these mothership operations, that sounds intense.
Yeah, oh, it was. We're talking large fishing vessels, apparently hauling like over 10,000 pounds.
10,000 pounds.
Yeah, then meeting smaller boats way offshore, slipping onto California beaches under the radar. The potential payoff must have seemed worth the considerable risks.
You have to imagine, let's talk money then. The economics are pretty wild. Wholesale price, early 70s, maybe $100 a pound.
Around there, yeah.
But by 79, it jumps to $500 a pound. That screams massive demand.
Exactly. Think about it, a 15,000-pound load, even at earlier prices, that potentially millions. Millions. This funded what the source calls lavish lifestyles for surfing outlaws.
Yeah.
A whole subculture popped up.
And this ties into the bigger counterculture thing, right? Like the Beatles, Hendrix, that whole rebellious vibe.
Absolutely. And the hippie trail, interestingly, plays a role. That's how smugglers apparently got introduced to these original Thai and Afghan cannabis varieties, what we call land races.
Land races. So like the original pure strains from those areas.
Pretty much, yeah. Strains that evolved naturally over time in specific places. And bringing those back wasn't just about selling weed, it was importing new genetics.
Ah, okay. So that's the connection to today's strains.
That's the key link. Those Thai and Afghan land races became the building blocks for so many famous strains later on. Think OG Kush, think Haze.
Yeah.
Their roots trace back to this era.
That's actually amazing, but obviously this couldn't last forever. The law catches up.
Right. Nixon declares the war on drugs in '71. That's a big signal. And by the late '70s, the DEA is specifically targeting these Thai stick operations.
So the heat was really on.
Definitely. The risks got way higher. The source mentions not just major busts, but even pirate attacks out on the ocean. It was dangerous work.
Pirate attacks. Seriously.
Seems so. It highlights just how wild and unpredictable that trade was.
And then things changed again in the early 80s. The Thai stick imports started to drop off.
Yeah, the pressure likely became too much.
Yeah.
And the market adapted. We started seeing Colombian cartels becoming more dominant, using that Florida and Caribbean route more heavily for cannabis distribution.
So the supply chain just shifted.
It did. When one route gets disrupted or too risky, the market finds another way. Demand doesn't just disappear,
So looking back at these smuggler surfers, they're more than just criminals in old stories. They seem, well, kind of iconic in both surf and cannabis lore.
I think that's fair. Their impact was real. They pioneered these incredibly risky import routes, and maybe without fully realizing it, they brought back the genetic material that fundamentally shaped modern cannabis.
It's quite a legacy.
It truly is a wild mix of counterculture, adventure, high-risk business, and plant genetics.
So to wrap this up, the smuggler surfers era wasn't just about breaking the law. It was this really fascinating period of, well, ingenuity, cultural shifts, and laying the groundwork for the cannabis industry we know today in a strange way.
Absolutely. It makes you think, doesn't it? How do those insane risks and massive rewards back then compare to the legal cannabis industry now, with all its regulations and challenges? Are there still echoes of that original sort of hustle, that drive, visible today?